everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Adam Pearce is the current general manager of WWE Raw. Under his control, the Red brand has seen some major development heading toward Backlash 2025. On tonight's go-home edition of Raw ahead of Backlash, Pearce may fire Gunther if the 37-year-old crosses the line again. At Backlash, the ring general is set to lock horns with Pat McAfee in a singles bout. This match was announced after Gunther attacked Michael Cole and McAfee on Ariadaldo after WrestleMania 41. Nick Aldis, who filled in for Pearce last week, gave the Raw commentator a chance to seek redemption by booking him in a match against the Imperium leader for the PLE. The actions of Gunther on the April 21 edition of Ariadaldo led to him getting suspended by Pearce. This suspension will be lifted on May 10, 2025. So if the former World Heavyweight Champion shows up on tonight's Raw and launches an attack on McAfee, this may lead to Adam Pearce firing the ring general. Further, as a consequence, Pearce might also cancel the Gunther-McAfee Backlash match. Later, this match could be shifted to Saturday night's main event or a PLE. Though the scenario is speculative and based on assumptions, still, if Gunther appears on tonight's Raw, it may bring a major twist to the show. Adam Pearce made several appearances in WWE in the late 1990s as an enhancement talent. After a successful in-ring career outside the company, he signed with WWE in May 2015 as a trainer and NXT producer. The Raw general manager recently shared that he had completed 10 years working full-time with the Stanford-based promotion. The 46-year-old star shared a post on Instagram to declare mission accomplished. He also shared a throwback picture of him signing the contract. In the caption, he stated, "It will be intriguing to see what happens next on WWE Raw under the leadership of Adam Pearce." The WWE Universe was left in absolute shock and disbelief after the events that unfolded on this week's Monday Night Raw. A 37-year-old veteran, once beloved, once feared, once revered, may have crossed a line so bold, so unforgivable, that WWE authority figure Adam Pearce is now said to be seriously contemplating the nuclear option, termination. But what really happened on Raw? What led to this chaotic descent? And could this shocking incident truly result in Pearce firing one of WWE's most polarizing performers? Let's break down the drama, the emotion, the fallout, and the very real possibility that one of WWE's most infamous figures could be walking away in disgrace. The incident, when passion becomes poison. Monday Night Raw opened with fire, with energy, and with a returning sense of unpredictability that fans have long yearned for. But by the end of the third hour, that unpredictability had mutated into pure chaos. In the final segment of the night, Drew McIntyre, fresh off his WrestleMania 41 heartbreak, stormed the ring unannounced, interrupting a scheduled match between Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura. But what began as a verbal tirade quickly spiraled into violence. McIntyre, 37 years old and one of the most decorated stars of the modern era, didn't just attack Zayn. He brutalized him. He dismantled the match. He ignored referees. He shoved past agents and even knocked down a camera operator. But the moment that truly sent shockwaves backstage? When he cornered Adam Pearce at ringside and unleashed a fury of insults, shoving Pearce backward before continuing his rampage. The camera quickly cut away, and the broadcast went dark with commentary stunned into silence. Backstage fallout. A locker room in turmoil. According to sources within WWE, the atmosphere backstage after Raw ended was nothing short of toxic. Multiple talents, including Zayn himself and other longtime veterans, were said to be furious, not just about the unscripted nature of McIntyre's rampage, but about the level of physicality and apparent disrespect shown toward Adam Pearce. Pearce, a man known for his calm leadership and no-nonsense professionalism, reportedly had to be restrained from confronting McIntyre after the show went off air. While cooler heads prevailed in the moment, the damage was done. McIntyre had crossed a line, arguably the final line. A source close to WWE Creative told us. What Drew did wasn't part of the script. He went into business for himself. It was real. Pearce wasn't expecting to be shoved, and everyone knows that. This isn't just heat, this could be termination-level behavior. McIntyre's meltdown, WrestleMania, and the buildup of frustration. To understand McIntyre's descent, you have to look back at WrestleMania 41. Billed as his redemption arc, the Scottish Warrior was expected to finally capture the undisputed WWE Universal Championship and dethrone the seemingly unbeatable Roman Reigns. Instead, he was dealt a crushing loss, one that saw interference, betrayal, and controversy cloud what was meant to be his crowning moment. Since then, McIntyre has been off-script, both literally and metaphorically. His promos have become more venomous, more personal. His body language during interviews has suggested a man on the edge. And Monday night may have been the moment where the fuse finally reached the dynamite. Fans have seen this kind of story before. Burnout, frustration, and the blurring of lines between character and performer. But never quite like this, not in the Triple H era. And not when it involves physical contact with an authority figure who, by all accounts, had no idea he'd be part of the segment. Adam Pearce's position, professionalism versus punishment. In the aftermath, Adam Pearce has remained mostly silent, except for a single post on X, formerly Twitter. There are lines you don't cross. The post was seen by many as a direct shot at McIntyre. And while Pearce has not officially commented further, backstage whispers indicate he is under pressure, from executives, from sponsors, and from the locker room, to make an example. There are several routes Pearce could take: a heavy fine, a multi-week suspension, a storyline punishment, or, if he chooses the nuclear option, termination. While WWE is no stranger to pushing boundaries in its stories, making contact with an on-air authority figure without prior approval is said to be a serious breach of backstage etiquette, especially under the Triple H and Nick Khan regime, where creative chaos is encouraged but backstage professionalism is non-negotiable. McIntyre's history with WWE, a complicated legacy. Drew McIntyre's journey through WWE has been one of the most complex in recent memory. From being labeled the Chosen One by Vince McMahon in his early 20s to being released, rebuilding his career on the independent scene, and returning to dominate in the pandemic era. McIntyre's story has always been one of redemption. But perhaps the same fire that led to his resurrection has now led to his downfall. McIntyre has always been proud, intense, and brutally honest. Yet some believe that passion has turned to bitterness, and that bitterness is now hurting more than just his character. It's hurting his colleagues, the company, and himself. Should Adam Pearce decide to fire him, it would mark a dramatic and painful fall from grace. But would it be justified? Fan reaction, divided but vocal. Social media lit up after row, with fans either defending McIntyre's passion or condemning his behavior. Hashtags like #FreeDrew and #FireMcIntyre trended simultaneously. While many sympathize with his frustration over repeated high-profile losses, others argue that physically confronting a WWE official is a step too far, even in a world built on spectacle. A former WWE official who worked under Vince McMahon commented anonymously, "In the old days, this would have gotten you a private meeting, a fine, and maybe a punch in the face backstage. But today the spotlight is brighter, the stakes are higher. You can't pull this kind of stunt and expect zero consequences." What comes next? Possibilities explored. Firing. It's the most extreme option but not out of the question. WWE has fired top stars for less under the guise of unprofessional conduct. If Pearce chooses to make an example, McIntyre could be written off TV as early as next week and quietly released. Suspension plus on-air punishment. A more likely route would see Pearce suspending McIntyre and publicly humiliating him. He could be arrested on air, fined on television, and forced to publicly apologize. WWE could blend real-life tension with storyline drama, an approach they've used successfully in the past. Storyline turn. WWE could swerve expectations and turn the incident into part of a larger storyline. McIntyre's rampage could become a character shift, a Mad King persona bent on tearing down the system that betrayed him. Pearce could reluctantly allow him to stay, creating an uneasy alliance and long-term feud. Backstage reconciliation. If cooler heads prevail, McIntyre and Pearce could mend fences behind closed doors. The incident could be smoothed over internally, with both parties moving forward. But even in that case, WWE would need to address the controversy publicly to maintain credibility. Could this be a work? The blurred lines of reality and fiction. In the post-kayfabe era, WWE often thrives on confusion between reality and storyline. And some fans are speculating whether this whole situation, McIntyre's attack, the shove, Pearce's reaction, is part of an elaborate work designed to drum up buzz and reinvigorate interest. There's merit to the theory. After all, WWE has blurred lines before. CM Punk's pipe bomb. Becky Lynch attacking Ronda Rousey backstage. The Montreal Screwjob itself. If this is a work, it's a damn good one, but sources insist McIntyre went off script. And Pearce's real anger afterwards suggests something truly unplanned occurred. A career on the line, and a choice for Adam Pearce. Ultimately, the ball is in Adam Pearce's court. As one of the most respected authority figures in WWE today, Pearce must decide whether to punish McIntyre in the name of discipline, or use the chaos as fuel for a compelling new story arc. Whatever happens next, one thing is clear: Drew McIntyre is at a crossroads. His actions on Raw may have permanently altered his legacy. And Pearce, now standing at the center of controversy, must choose whether to wield the sword of justice or the brush of redemption. Closing thoughts. WWE thrives on emotion, unpredictability, and raw human conflict. This week on Raw, fans saw all three, and perhaps a little too much of each. Whether Drew McIntyre's meltdown leads to termination, redemption, or reinvention remains to be seen. But the eyes of the WWE Universe, the wrestling world, and even its most cynical critics are all fixed on what Adam Pearce does next. Because when lines are crossed, consequences must follow. And for Drew McIntyre, the consequences could define the rest of his career or end it altogether. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.